Yeah.
Nazi hiyo inakuanga for me it's a guarantee.
Me, I hear homa ya mtoi by the not even I hear, I've experienced. Nishaishikwa na homa ya mtoi. Yani inaweza kukuangusha. Na mtoto wako hapo hivyo anacheza. So how do you get to deal with, you know, the fact that you have to be with these kids and unaona mmoja by the yani ana sneeze.
Na mzazi wake amemleta
hapo hivyo.
Jaden akona homa.
Watoto hata I think 24/7 most of them class huwezi kosa wawili watoto wako na homa daily akukosa because they are playing and especially the fact that for me I'm in a public school kuna vumbi na wanacheza na huko ndio wanapenda wanashikashikana kushika vitu and you're marking their books na hizi the same books ndio pia wao utazishika wao watashika so lazima unakaa rada plus unakaa na tudawa wako but there are things that huwezi avoid.
What about kids? I mean, when I'm listening to the kids and the stuff that you're teaching them, there's kids with different needs. Kuna, you know, when you meet in school, there's one who's like, yo, this is my playground. And then there's that one who's just like, oh my God, how do I even connect to these other kids?
Yes.
And then there's that one who maybe is dealing with a lot of things at home. So how do you, tell us what you've seen and how you're handling some of these things.
Now, one thing, when you're dealing with kids, you have to know them, not by names, but to know them even with their characters. Because generally, psychology says, all of us, we have a problem. Kila mtu ako na shida. And as a teacher, you have to handle each kinini shida kila mtoto in a different way. We have kids who have emotional, it's called EBD, that is emotional behavioral disorder. That is those kids when you wanna misbehave anytime. We also have kids who also have their different, nowadays we have IE. IE is inclusivity. You include all the learners in that class. Jukunadi wenye hawaoni vizuri. So these are some of the disorders that we normally have in our class. And also we also have wenye wanajipenda. Na anataka vitu zake ni zake.
Tunawajua hao.
Ni zake.
Only children.
And hata saa zingine it extends to a point hata za wengine anaona ni zake. And you have to be a judge there and to show them isi yako ni ya huyu. Just use what you have. So there is a kind of wisdom you use as a teacher and reverse psychology to deal with children.
And what about you know, because you deal with them when they're in school, right? And you're trying to do holistic so that by the time they finish this year, that they've learned what they need to learn, that they are a balanced human, that they can go to the next year. But then you're tag teaming with parents, and sometimes some parents, you know, you cannot regulate that part. So how do you make sure that at least nina support mtoi, because considering ninaona huko nyumbani labda maybe things are not that good.
So sometimes you have to go an extra mile to give extra love, maybe the love that is not being received at home.
Wait, teachers love their students?
Utakosaje kumpenda?
Mimi nionyeshe ule mwalimu alinipenda nijue.
Sometimes you're forced to love them because sometimes you have issues with the parent. Maybe the parent is not cooperating. You're asking for some things the parent is not bringing. You have to go your way, find a way mtoto atapata. The same with teaching is a calling. You don't just wake up and become a teacher. And I normally say, if you're not meant to be a teacher, kindly, you're wasting a generation and don't.
Wow. Corporal punishment imetolewa.
Kabisa.
So how do you get to correct kids now? Like, what are some examples like you could actually do? Because I was a naughty kid in school.
You just deny privileges. You deny privileges. For example, you know a child what they love most. Kama kuna mtoto anajua break time anakuanga amengoja hivi. Just tell them now, break time kama ni 30 minutes, 20 minutes tutakuwa na wewe class. Do my work, maliza, then 10 minutes unaenda. You know, before 10 minutes ziisha wamepatana nani, imeisha amerudi class. So next time, kuna wenye unajua maybe they love drawing na malizi kazi. So you just take the drawing book, finish my work first, then continue with your drawing.
So do you agree with people, because you know even the education system, parents are saying, yo, these kids are going out of control, and you're dealing with them on a foundational level. What are your thoughts on corporal punishment?
I can't encourage it because for us it worked for us, but then again we have to understand that we are dealing with a different generation, and a generation yenye hata tukisema ni kuongelesha. Plus another thing, parents do not even awakubali. Alafu you know the parents wenye tuko nao for me ni wazazi my age. So there's no intaguza hata mtoto wako. And then to avoid all that, if it's too much, I advise the parents, just go and deal with your kid. It's beyond me, because sometimes you can't leave everything to the teacher. By the end of the day, kuna mali tafika nitaachana na mtoto, and then plus another thing, and that is why most of us, we have those traumas due to lichapwa sana. And maybe some of us, we are not what we wanted to be because of kutandikwa.
Gosh, na walikuwa naita kutandika. Yani so demonic.
I know, right?
Yani anatandika ni
Anatandika.
Kitanda.
Kunyorosha.
Anainyorosha. You know the words that they na kunyorosha. Kutandika.
Kutandika.
Bro, I mean, if an old school teacher is listening to you and she say, huyu haelewi Kenya anafanya. Mtoto anafaa kutandikwa. Kwanza hawa nini wa siku hizi. So mtu mwenye anasema hivyo, you're saying these kids are different. They're a different generation. How different?
They are different because even the way they are reasoning, there is a kuna mtoto tena umwambie you've done there's a school that I taught. And then ile unakasirika, you're like, wacha wewe. And then the child was like, why are you shouting at me? And then I'm like, you're doing bad manners, whatever, you're not supposed to do that. And then now you have to sit there, mwanze ku reason out. You could have ungeniambia ningesikia. And then unakaangalia, you're like,
kunyorosha
wewe. Yeah, but then again, there is something called conditioning. There is a way you condition a child in a manner venye anafaa kubehave. You see, ukionyesha watoto like kiboko ndio itafanya ufanye kazi, you'll forever use kiboko. Na for how long will you use this kiboko? But there is a way you can condition these children. Unawaambia, if you do this, there is a reward. If you do this, there is a reward. You see, like ukiendelea hivyo, it keeps the children motivated. Na reward, it doesn't mean a sweet or nini. Even words of affirmation. Just tell this child, you've done good. Like it feels nice. Let's appreciate this child in front of the class. Hata kama amekuwa notorious, ile siku tu atafanya kitu mzuri. Let the whole class know that amefanya kitu mzuri. It really motivates a child. Also, unapata you see, like hawa wenye huwa wanachokoza wengine, wanawatandika. Bullies. You make them the class prefects.
That's what they did to me.
Yes.
That's what they did to me. That was the only thing.
Yes.
So it started making me a bit responsible.
Yeah, you just use psychology ya watoto, and like manipulating kids ni rahisi sana. It's just that watu wanaona kiboko, it's the only way. I don't think.
These are some of the tactics that parents can use at home.
Yes.
Because their parents were just like, I'm supposed to sit to this kid for 2 months. Teacher Sila unaweza kuja nyumbani uongee na yeye. So now that they're at home, we know that technology is embedded with kids in this generation. When they're in school with you, of course they don't have technology, but when they're at home, the parents are just maybe giving them the tab and they're saying, "Wait, jibambes." Mimi niko na vitu za kufanya. Do you accept that? And what other things can they be able to do to keep this kid busy?
Okay, so number one, I can say it is good, plus don't make it too much, because too much of something, it's even us as adults, there are times that tutashinda kwa screen and you're like, hey, I have a headache. And another thing, you can also go and check what Teacher Sila is doing on YouTube. Yes, and waangalie uko kazi.
So you're doing some extra stuff online?
Yes.
Oh, good stuff.
Yes. So something, I've been doing some clips on teaching. So if a child is learning through inaitwaje, kama mtoto ana learn kwa simu, thumbs up. Playing games also, it's okay. If they are also learning something, iko sawa. But then again, don't despise the fact that mtoto anafaa kucheza and interact with others, because that's why nowadays unapata you're going for a family gathering, but watoto wamekaa pamoja, kila mtoto amepewa simu yake
kwa tab.
That's
crazy.
Like like there is that even kujua social, like you have to interact with people, learn to live with people, don't live with cartoons. We are living with people, so you have to know that human interaction and dealing and even problem solving, it comes in there, because there are many things to solve mkiwa na mabeshte mkicheza nini kujaza those puzzles wanacheza nazo. So not all the time the screen, na shida inakuanga maybe kumzoesha akiwa kadogo.
All right. When we come back, I'd like to find out, according to you, Teacher Sila, how important is it in a human being's development with the job that you do, getting students or human beings at such a young age, and also are teachers currently being supported by institutions to do their job that they're doing.
We'll come back and finish that.
Mambo Vulai.